I'm Akira,
and you're watching
Dante's Boxing Nation.
Sounds good.
Well, I'm pretty sure my decision is made already. Bob couldn't secure me the Spence fight when I was with him. So how you gonna secure me the Spence fight when I'm not with him? So, I'm moving forward with my career right now, and I wish everybody the best.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So just to surmise everything, Terence Crawford, he filed a 6-count multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Bob Arum and Top Rank. He's suing Bob Arum for breach of contract, fraudulent misrepresentation, negligent misrepresentation, and racial bias. And that's just naming some of the counts. Now, you guys might recall I did a video about a month ago reporting that Terence Crawford already got a minor victory when a Nevada district court judge granted Crawford's motion to remand his lawsuit against Top Rank back to state court. You see, what happened is Bob Arum, he wanted to actually move this case to a federal court. And the reason why he wanted to have this case moved to a federal court is because it takes longer for the case to go to trial. When it's a state case, it goes to trial much faster. Federal court also carries stricter rules and would have likely resulted in a more expensive legal battle for Terence Crawford, which is why this was a minor victory for Terence Crawford when the judge ruled in Terence Crawford's favor that the case will remain in a state court in Nevada. So since the judge made that ruling about, 4 to 6 weeks ago, Bob Arum just recently did an interview on Barbershop Conversations, and he said that as far as he's concerned, there's no more lawsuit.
We asked that it be removed to a federal court, and the federal judge said no, it has to be in the state court. So they have to refile the case in state court, and this was 6 weeks ago. They haven't. So I don't know whether the case is going forward or it's not going forward. Right now, as far as I'm concerned, there's no case. I mean, no case from the. I'm not giving you an opinion on the merits of the case. I'm just saying there is no case because nothing's been filed.
Listen, guys, there's a possibility Bob Arum, he could be right, but at the same time, you have to take everything Bob Arum says with a grain of salt. Because if you guys recall, Bob Arum was the same person who was saying there was no way Deontay Wilder was going to win that mediation. Now, remember, guys, Bob Arum, he's a lawyer. And when he said this, that's what a lot of race fans on the internet kept saying. It was like, Bob Arum, he knows what he's talking about. He's a lawyer, et cetera, et cetera. But you guys have to remember, Bob hasn't practiced law in damn near 50 years, which might be why Bob Arum, he started that piece off the clip by saying, I don't know if this is going forward or it's not. I mean, when it comes to Terence Crawford, everything that he's been through, his experience with Top Rank, and how loyal Terence Crawford was to Top Rank, re-signing deals with them when he could have left and went to PBC or anywhere, but decided to stay with them. As loyal as he's been to Top Rank and the things that Bob Arum said about him and everything that he has done, Terence Crawford would be a fool to walk away from this lawsuit. I mean, this is probably not the case, but if it were true that Terence Crawford, he backed down, it could only be one reason he would back down, and that would be due to intimidation. He could have been intimidated by the backlash, the racial backlash. Eddie Hearn is a prime example. Around the time it was reported that Terence Crawford was suing Top Rank and Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn did an interview. He was asked about Terence Crawford, and he said flat out, we're not interested in signing him, which is amazing when you consider the fact that Terence Crawford is pound for pound the best fighter in the world and has knocked out his last, 9 opponents? If I'm not mistaken, Terence Crawford has stopped every single welterweight he's been in the ring with. And Eddie Hearn says he's not interested in signing him at all. He makes up an excuse that really made no sense at all. He said, look, we don't even have any welterweights. All the welterweights are over there at PBC. But that didn't make sense because DAZN has Virgil Ortiz. They have Conor Benn. Not to mention, DAZN has never cared about some undefeated prospect not having a whole bunch of names that's already signed with DAZN. So that didn't make sense what Eddie Hearn said. And then Eddie, he says, look, I heard that Terence Crawford is expensive, and he starts talking about the things that Bob Arum said. Eddie says something like, I heard he's difficult to deal with, and he can't sell tickets, etc., etc. It's pretty ironic because Eddie Hearn saying this really just strengthens Terence Crawford's lawsuit, because that's where the defamation and the misrepresentation comes in. Now Bob Arum has other promoters repeating exactly what he's saying, things that are not actually true. There were many occasions where Terence Crawford had the most viewed fight in all of boxing, not just on Top Rank, in all of boxing. Some of Terence Crawford's fights were the most watched fights of the year. You see, guys, once again, if this were true, that Terence Crawford was backing down or even thinking about backing down, Terence Crawford and his lawyers, they need to understand people can lie all day when it comes to doing boxing interviews, and they can lie to the boxing world. They can completely mislead everyone. But that approach does not work when you're under oath, when you're in a court of law. That doesn't work anymore. Because now in a court of law, you're going to truly be held accountable for every single lie that you make. Every single thing that Bob Arum said about Terence Crawford, he's going to have to explain this in court. For example, when Bob Arum said, I've lost so much money on Terence Crawford, Bob is going to have to prove how much money he lost as opposed to everyone else that he promotes. And once again, this is going to give Terence Crawford's attorneys an opportunity to show the actual numbers. So, yeah, it would be completely foolish for Terence Crawford to back out of this lawsuit. I mean, sure, there's going to be backlash from a lot of racist people in the boxing industry, but that comes with the territory. That comes with making change. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodekey.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.
My name is Chris, and I'm all the way here from Anchorage, Alaska at Scalp Carolinas, and I'm here for my second treatment of SMP. Well, I was sitting at home one day and going over my Facebook page, and they have different, like advertisements popping up, and I saw one for SMP. And I saw some pictures of some guys, a before and after, and I was looking at that, and it caught my attention. So I Googled it. SMP, nothing showed up in my area. So, I did a little more research, and all of a sudden, Scalp Carolinas popped up in the web browser. So I started watching his videos and seeing all the reaction from all the other people. We talked on the phone, we made appointments and everything. I sent him pictures, and he looked at them, and I was like, can you fix this? And, he pretty much said, no problem. My first session, he made me feel extremely comfortable. It was almost like I was talking to family. He started, and during the whole treatment, we talked and, about our families and our life, and, and things that he does and things that I do. And before I know it, the first session was over. When you see someone doing something that they love, as much as I see Enoch Glover love what he does, it shows in his work. I wouldn't point anyone in any other direction but here to North Carolina, Scalp Carolinas, to get this done.